Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on here really fast and just share something that I've been learning over the last like 7 or 8 years. I know it's kind of a long process. And that is the word discipline. And I know whenever I hear that word, I don't know about you, but I'm like, ooh, it makes me kind of cringe. Um, but this discipline is something that has never ever come easy for me, and I would always just excuse it as I'm a musician. I'm just not organized with my time and my life, and I'm someone who sees like the big picture. Like I'm a dreamer. I could see like a vision of what I want to do with something, but the detail part and like executing to get there, I'm terrible at. So, I had gotten in this terrible habit when we lived in Chicago before we moved here to Nashville, where I would literally be going to bed at like 12, 1, whatever, sleep till 9, 9:30, go lay in my bed and watch TV for a little bit or sit downstairs. Like literally didn't really start my day till like noon. And I always use the excuse, I'm not a morning person, I'm not a morning person, I'm a night person, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, it was laziness. And I literally wouldn't start my day till it was like halfway through the day, which is just not how we're supposed to live. And I finally, like, I would be tired all day. And finally, like, I did some research on sleeping and different things and just kind of realized, like, I need to be getting to bed by 10 or before. I mean, honestly, 10, 10:30, whatever, and starting my day at 7:30, and just to stop using excuses. Like I think that we all need to be working on like bettering ourselves and always like what can we do, what can we improve, and not just excusing something. And I would excuse it all the time, like I just don't do mornings, blah blah blah. Well, for me, I have found like one of the best things. Well, first of all, when I did change my sleeping schedule to a more human, normal sleeping schedule, and hey, I'm still naturally a night owl, but I try to be in bed by 11 or before. Um, and I found that I was less tired, and I also realized like I wasn't taking care of myself, and I really needed to start out my day with working out. I think it's just so much better for us to do a workout first thing in the morning instead of waiting till like way later in the day, unless of course like you have a job that starts at like 6 a.m. or something. Obviously, I couldn't get up before that. But I will tell you, I started to just kind of draw a line in the sand one day and say, I'm done making excuses. I'm being lazy. And I really need to cultivate, just, and knowing too that I wanted to be a mom one day at that time. And I needed to start like disciplining myself for what was going to be in the future, because we all know as moms, when you have kids, you don't sleep in. And so I was like, you know what? I need to start like doing like how they always say like dress for the job you want. Well, that's kind of what I started thinking, like I need to start cultivating discipline and habits for things that I want down the road. And I think sometimes there's promises that we want or things that we want in life that we haven't seen come to pass, and honestly some of it is maybe we need to cultivate some discipline in our life. And I know that's hard, trust me, I am terrible at it. But I started, and also just wanting to know like, hey, I need to take care of my body, mind, and spirit. And if I am not doing that, like I am not going to live at my optimal energy level. And just, so I started obviously like making better food choices, but also I started working out and just like started my day with it and not waiting until the afternoon. And then I was too tired and blah, blah, blah. So starting to do that, I found like I had so much energy, and once I like started my morning with that, even if there were days where like I was up till let's say midnight or 1, I still made myself do it. And then even if you have to take a nap or something for a half an hour in the afternoon or go to bed a little earlier the next night, like it's worth it, because I found that I got so much more accomplished, and I was starting to see like different dreams and different things that I wanted to come to pass because I was now putting the work in. And exercise really fueled that for me because it gave me that like endorphin, like exercise high, they call it, afterwards. And I know like it's awful the first few weeks. I'm like, oh, I can't get up. I can't do this. This is so hard. But your body starts to get in like way better shape and you feel better. And then it starts to not be as hard. Like honestly, it's like an appointment going to the doctor for me, unless I'm deathly ill, I am there. Um, and also I think it's important to find something that you love. Like it shouldn't be a chore to work out. And like, yes, the first couple weeks it might be, but as we cultivate that discipline, our body adapts and it gets easier and then it doesn't always feel like a chore. And so like for me, I mean, all of you who follow me know how much I love spin, and I I love it. So it's something like for me, like it was awful the first few weeks I did it because I hadn't worked out like in a couple years after having a baby and making myself. And there were days I even got up and went to like a 6 o'clock workout, even though I was getting like 5 hours of sleep because I wanted to keep that discipline. And it was like the only time I could work out at the time where I had someone to watch my daughter, you know? And so it's like you make it work and you reap the rewards of that discipline. And so it's just something that does not come naturally to me, but it's something that I've really, really, really tried to work on. And obviously, always a work in progress. There's always things I can improve on and always, get even better with the discipline. But I've just found, when you find something you love, like eventually you love it. It might be a duty at first to get yourself to the gym or wherever, but after a while, it does become something that you love. And I also think it's important, to like for me, my spin class that I go to have the most incredible instructor, and she's so encouraging, and like that really helps because when you're taking the class and you feel like you maybe can't make it through, she says like exactly what you need to hear when you're like, I don't think I can make it through, and then she says you can do this, don't give up, and you're like, okay, I got this. And so just finding like something like that, like if you're someone like me who's more externally motivated and needs that, like, come on, you got this. To find a class or an instructor that you love that like really encourages and motivates you. But I just want to encourage us, just to, just find, creating habits of discipline, just reaps so many rewards. Like I've just seen so many things that literally I hadn't seen come to pass because of me being lazy and just always using excuses that this is just how I am, this is how I'm made up, like this is just how it's always going to be, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like we can totally create new habits. And also I think a lot of it too is like who we surround ourselves with, and surrounding yourself with people that have those habits maybe that you want to have and the discipline that you want to have. Like I have a friend who is literally like the healthiest, most in shape person ever, and every day I look at her stuff, I'm inspired to do better and to eat better, whatever. And so it's just something I've been thinking a lot about, and just always like, as we come into a new year and all of that, just thinking about what are some things that I can do, to discipline myself. And for me, I just have found starting my day, even if I've gotten 5 hours of sleep, with a workout, really, really, really is a game changer for every other area. And so, anyway, just something I've been thinking about. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. So, anyway, hope you guys have a good night.